Hello, welcome to the Cable's Lace and Tails podcast. My name is Sue and I am a maker from northwestern Wisconsin. It is a beautiful early fall day. It is quite chilly and windy, but it feels so nice to wear one of my hand knit sweaters on the playground underneath another coat, of course. Today required hat and everything, scarf, because it's that type of chilly day and the kids came to school unprepared. Please, parents, I don't know where you are in the world, but if you see that it's only going to be 66 degrees, send a coat. Kids get cold quickly. The first day of school was today, and it went by pretty well overall. I do not have any lunchroom duty. At this moment in time, I'm knocking on wood because the lunchroom is so loud and it's kind of overwhelming at times, but I have 2 long recesses. I'd rather be outside than inside a very loud gymnasium, aka lunchroom. So let's go on and see what I'm wearing. I am wearing my Berroco Dulce V-neck drop shoulder cardigan that I made using, I have it over here, Hand Buds, the Knitter's Handy Book of Sweater Patterns. I've shown this many times. It's a spreadsheet thing. So I actually did 2 different sizes. The back I did size 44 inch bust. When I say size 44 is the size 44 inch bust. So, but then when I did the 44 inch bust for the back, I thought I made it too big. And then I sized down for the front, size 40. And it might have been too small. Maybe I should have done 42 all around. That probably would have been the best way. But I did size 40 on the fronts and size 40 on the sleeves for the count and the length. And I did size 44 back panel in size 40 length. So last week I showed I was about halfway done with my button band. I just did a simple start from one end and go to the other end one by one rib. And I was debating, do I put buttons on? Because, you know, cardigans get buttons. And I thought, this yarn is so soft. It is so drapey. It is so loosey-goosey. See if you can see. I don't know if you will be able to, but I just didn't want like any yanking or grabbing onto this brushed alpaca yarn. So the core is a multi-colored strand of wool, nylon, and cotton, and that is braided. And then there is brushed alpaca all the way through. It is toasty warm, almost too warm to wear in my house at this moment. And it is just, it's like a kitten's belly. This is a discontinued yarn. You can kind of find it here and there still on the internet. I do not know why Berroco discontinued it. It was lovely to work with, and it's just lovely. I will not wet block this though. I will only steam block it, and I'm going to take it off and show some stuff. So last week I did show my seaming. I did the invisible join for the shoulder seams, 2 bound off edges, invisible join. It did pretty good. And I did a whip stitch for my sleeve top part. And then I did I believe it's called the mattress stitch. It's an invisible, another mostly invisible join underneath. It is glorious. This yarn is so ethereal in nature. I am very happy I have finished it. I did a 1x1 rib on the cuffs, hem, and button band. And I did use a size US 5 for the 1x1 rib with my Knitter Pride zings. And then I used my Knit Picks Reflections size 7 for the overall body of the sweater. It has this nice natural striping. It is in the color Jade. And I used to have a cat named Jade. And I thought it was very fitting that it was on sale at the time I bought it from Little Knits. And, you know, it had the same name as my cat, who has since passed away from cancer. So now I have a Jade sweater as soft as her belly. Oh, it is beautiful. It is very beautiful. Will I be hiding this from my other cats? You better believe it, because one's sitting across from me right here, right over there. And she's like, I'm not paying any attention to you. I'm just going to keep it close by. Now, I did have 10 skeins of this yarn. And each skein, I'm going to have to get my glasses here. Each skein had 175 yards per 50 grams. I'll just hold it. There's the, can you see that? Yeah. There's that info. And, oh, interesting. So it says it's 50% cotton, 20% nylon, 16% alpaca, and 14% wool. So I have 2 full skeins, and so that's 350 yards. And then I have, this is the long enough stuff that I could keep to sew up something in the future. And then I have this little bit, I haven't weighed anything. And then I have probably a good half. So 175 divided by half, we'll say 90 yards, you know. So I could make a small ranunculus using this, and, you know, would it fit me? I don't know, but I have just over 400 yards of this yarn left. I would like to make something, or, you know, maybe a shawl, because I mean, it's just so soft. It is so soft. It's so beautiful. A light ethereal shawl. Ooh, that might be pretty. So I am very happy that I have some left over, and I'm really happy I bought this with Little Knit Seattle. If you see like a Clear Me Away or something really on a discount, more than 60% off, they're getting rid of it, and it's probably a discontinued yarn. I jumped on this yarn without even knowing anything about it. I was just like, oh, that sounds cool. It looks soft. It looks, you know, really nice. And I'm really happy I got it. I probably got it for 70% off, maybe 80% off. And when I got it, I was like, ooh, what should I make out of it? And then I kept thinking about it, you know, like, do you make a sweater? And I'm like, cardigan. A cardigan without buttons, so I can just put this on and then take it off at work. And, you know, being out on our windswept prairie playground for essentially an hour in total, this will just be like, the cat's meow. So I did do this cardigan all in pieces, and then I sewed everything up. I have some of the fiber in my mouth. The thing about Ann Bud's patterns, and I don't think I mentioned this before, but I saw this on the back recently. More than 1,500 options with the basic sweater. So you can do different ribbings. You can do different edgings. You can do, you know, like a cardigan, a pullover. You could do a V-neck, a crew neck. You could have a button band. You could have like a, what do you call them? Like a quarter zip. And they have, in this book, you have drop shoulder, modified drop shoulder, set and sleeve, saddle shoulder, raglan, and seamless yoke. And then you have all the options. It's a really valuable tool that I really enjoy using. You have to like the spreadsheet, and you have to know some knitting knowledge. Now, when I got these books back in, I think I got them in 2018 or 2019, I knew very little about knitting, but I knew I would really understand this, and I actually got this book for the socks, and I am so glad I did. I did take a chance on this. I have another one because I bought all three. I decided I had a Christmas Amazon gift card. Let's be honest. I had a Christmas Amazon gift card, and I splurged and bought all three. I have not made any sweaters from this book yet. I started something, but I didn't like the yarn. I was using Lion Brand 24/7 cotton, and it was just like this really dense and heavy, and I didn't like it. It just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. But this one, you do have the seamless yoke, the raglan, the set and sleeve, and the saddle shoulder, and that's it. But these are all top down, and it basically is the same thing where you get the spreadsheet. Let's hold this up. You do you find your yarn, you find your needles, you do a swatch, you find how many stitches per inch, and then you follow the size. You know, so the inches are over here, and then the size is up here, and you just follow it like a grid. Now, they also give you options to do one of their patterns. So there is a lot to do with these books. I really enjoy them. I have really learned a lot from knitting with these books, and I'm also making 2 more cardigans using the set and sleeve version. I worked on this. This is my fingering one, my fingering weight. This is Knit Picks palette, and it is a fingering weight Highland, 100% Highland Peruvian wool. This is in the color Camel Twist. This is probably well, they don't have this color way right now, but it's a marled yarn. I did a 2x2 ribbing, and this is one of the front panels, and I'm just working up. I will probably bring this up to the cities this weekend when I'm, traveling up there. I usually work on a dishcloth in the car, but while we're visiting, if I have a few moments, I just do a few rows or, whatever. So I am a Knit Picks affiliate member. I do have my link in the description below. And if you decide to buy anything from them with no extra whatever fees or anything like that, I receive a small commission if you click my link. So I'm just doing I believe I'm doing the V-neck version for this one with the set and sleeve. And since this yarn is more dense for the ribbing, I will be putting buttons on this one. And I have some brown buttons. I think would look really nice with this because they're dark brown, so it kind of like set off the light tan beige that's going. This is a lovely yarn. I like Knit Picks palette. It is a 2-ply fingering weight. So I do have some in my stash, and I was looking at fingerless mitts and whatnot. So I am working football games, Would I be able to get it done by the last time I do the football game? Probably not, but you know, maybe in the future. So the needle size I'm using, I should tell you. I think I am doing a size 2.5. I know the ribbing was like 1.5. Let me see. Oh, this is a size 3. And this is my Knit Picks Reflections, the lace weight size. I probably did size 2 for the ribbing. So, US size 2. Or, I don't know what that would be for millimeters at this moment. Now, the other cardigan I'm working on is using Knit Picks Upcycle Alpaca Blend in the color Titanium. And I really like this yarn. This skein, though, does have a bit more stiff fibers. It's very soft and luxurious, okay? But the way that they make this is that they take the leftover bits from other projects, wool, acrylic, and alpaca. 34% wool and 33% of the alpaca and acrylic, and then they, you know, make them into a new yarn. So sometimes you have to think about what else could there be in there if you are already making stuff, you know. I have found some stiffer fibers, and I don't know if it's like vegetable milk. I know it's not organic matter. So I'm wondering if it's part of like the acrylic process. Well, anyway, it's a cardigan and it's going to go over a shirt. It's not going to be next to skin. I am doing a 1x1 rib on this one. I am using size 4, I believe. I am using size, yes, US size 4 or 3.5 millimeter. This is the Knit Picks Reflections regular size. The lace weight also has a size 4, but I wanted the larger cable because the lace weight has their own set of cables because there's a smaller join right here. This, I'm just making another front panel. I finished, this will be the right front panel, and I am making a crew neck set-in sleeve for this one. So I keep all my notes so I know exactly where I am, but right now it's just, oh, I have a few moments, or I'm too tired to think of cables or color work or lace. I'm just gonna go back and forth. So those are my cardigans. I'm so excited. And I do have another cardigan that I haven't worked on for quite some time, the vegetable patch cardigan. And now that I'm done with my, I should just name it my cat belly sweater. Now that I'm done with the cat belly sweater or cardigan, I am thinking about, okay, what do I work on next? And I do have some projects that have been lingering, so those are top priority, especially since this one does require some thoughtful engagement, but it is so fun. It is so fun, and I am really enjoying the bobble part. I really like these cables. Kind of squish it together. And there's, so this is cable A and this is cable B, and then I have marked, this sweater gave me a lot of hard times. And maybe it was just me giving myself a hard time, like I should have planned it better. I'm using my Knitter's Pride Zing size 7. They are a blunt tip, and it's okay with this cable pattern. Sometimes you want a sharper tip because you have to get into certain areas, but this cable pattern is relatively easy. I do not have it memorized. This is a 4-row repeat, and this is a 18-row 18 stitches, 12 row repeat. So you can see how far I got since the last time I talked about it. I got a few more. Well, I got one more full repeat done, I believe, or almost. Maybe 3/4. Well, anyway, you can, where did it go? I'm covering it in my, oh, there it is. So there is my little pin, and I did about a couple inches. So I do have to be in the right frame of mind to get this done. My dog is rolling over there. She looks so cute. She's rubbing herself on the floor. She's being silly. Yes. So, two things I have done to really help me keep track of my sweater is, well, stitch markers. That is key. And then I also have, seems like I'm always in the same spot. I also wrote down so you follow these 4 rows, and that tells you like what to do, and then chart A, and then what to do, and then do chart B, etc., etc. And I keep track, which reminds me, because I was going to change that. I am not on repeat 5, I'm on repeat 9. So then each cable pattern has their rows, and then I have my post-its showing where I am in the pattern. So I'm on row 1 and row 9 consecutively. So that right there is very helpful, because everything's written in these like long columns, and it gets really confusing when you're looking down, and you can see what you can't see, and you have your readers, but then it hurts your eyes because you're looking weird and da-da-da. Anyway, the other thing I did was correspond my stitch markers. I have them all over. So they correspond to each side of the fabric, because you do something different on the right side and the wrong side, and you have to keep it all track. So I figured it out, what worked for me, and then I just put all of these stitch markers all around, and then it just keeps me organized. Like, okay, well, this is chart B, this is chart A, this part is for the bobbles, this part is for this part, so it all makes sense up here. And that's what bicycle, oh geez, no. She almost knocked over in a light. She wants to fit in a spot that's probably about a foot wide, but she's claimed it as her own. And now there's a light in my eyes, but we will carry on. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, being prepared and setting yourself up for success in any type of knitting requires you to do things in the method that makes the most sense to you. Yes, you can listen to people on a podcast and get ideas from them, but if it doesn't make sense to you, you're not going to continue doing it. And now, since I have done all these little steps to keep me on track, I'm looking forward to finishing this. And I mean, it is beautiful. I mean, it just is beautiful. I am making the second size. I will probably not, I'll probably not join the hem. I think I'll leave it open, like I stated before, and a kind viewer suggested. And just the way it looks would really look nice, sewing it to here and just seeing that open part of the hem, because I think, in my opinion, I think this is too tight. It wouldn't look, it's an 80s sweater. I'll show you the picture. It's an 80s sweater, so it is very of that style, of that nature, and you can see how wide it is right here, but how tight it is down there. And even though I really love this pattern, I wouldn't want, if I wear it, which I probably won't be able to fit into it. This is probably going to my daughter. But if this was for me, I wouldn't want this bulkiness right here. I want it to be a little bit more free flowing. So the split hem is a great idea. And that's another thing. Just because it says, you know, sew the whole thing up, doesn't mean you have to. You can make modifications on anything as long as it is doable, as long as it looks right on you, as long as it is feasible. You know, like, what if you don't have enough yarns, and that modification would require you to buy more yarn, but you don't want to buy more yarn, or you can't buy more yarn because it's a discontinued yarn. Nope, I lost my thing. Anyway, yes, I'm really enjoying this. It doesn't get pulled out as frequent as, say, like my stocking net sweaters or socks or something like that. But if I am like, okay, I did everything I needed to do, and I'm tired, but I'm not too tired, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch something that's not too engaging, that I've already seen before, but I just have it on in the background, and I just, you know, plod along and do a 4-row repeat and call it good, because it still takes me quite a bit of time to get through this. So I am using Lion Brand's Wool Ease yarn in the worsted weight in the color Fisherman. I know I got this off of Amazon like in 2020. It was 2020, 2021. It was a really, really good deal. I think I got these close to $3 a skein. I just remembered $3.35, and I was like, that's a good deal. So I remember it was like I got 10 skeins for $33.50. So that is that. Now, one thing I have been really working on quite a bit is a pattern by Kutovakika, the Sailor Swift top. I also have my post notes on this one as well. So I am doing the, what size am I doing? I am doing the 6th size for the top, and I'm going to increase to the 7th size, I believe, for the bottom. I do not really want it to have negative ease. This is the picture. I want it to fit, but I don't want it to be so tight that I won't want to wear it. I've never really liked that tightness for anything. So I did get gauge using Patons Linen, which is a discontinued yarn, and it is 65% cotton and 35% linen. I'm using the color Sweet Potato, and the contrast color is Goldenrod. Here's a little, I always use, I don't know where I saw this, but I use a hair tie for my stitch holders, my needle holders. It really nice, and we have a lot of them, you know. So this is the back panel, okay? And I was kind of confused when I was making this, because I thought that the bottom was the top. But then when I was reading it, I was like, well, yeah, why would you have the stitch markers up here? And then I realized through, you know, you should always read your pattern fully, not skim or jump over. But I didn't, and so I read it fully. And so when you start here, it's like at this part, this is the armhole area. You increase. Can you see my little marker? It's right down here. It's green. You'll see it. So, I did quite a few. I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 repeats. I only have this last repeat to do before I start the next step, which I don't remember what it is. I think you start picking up for the fronts after that. And then after, I'm really hoping it fits, because it looks like it would fit my back pretty well. And so I'm going to do the front, try it on, see how it goes. And I have looked at how many stitches I would have to add for the body of the garment, but it's going pretty good. And I think the colors are really complementary. I got this from Joann's when it first came out, and I always found it on sale. Like, I always got at least 20% off. And then whenever I would go there, if I saw it on clearance, which I saw this on clearance one time, I just picked it up. I just picked up the single strand, and I thought, you know, this'll come in handy. And it has. So I also have pink in the same color, or in the same type of yarn. It's a soft pink. So I'm planning to do something else with that. Probably another like camisole top so I can wear it under my sweaters. And I'm really liking stripes. And I cannot wait to do more striped things. I was at Target yesterday, and they have striped cardigans. And I was like, it is so popular at this time. It is just right on the mark. So, and it's really nice yarn. It's pretty drapey, but it is some substantialness to it. I'm using my Knit Picks Reflections size 2.5, US 2.5 or 3mm. Yeah, 3mm needles. What do you not want it to fall off? I am carrying up the yarn pretty good overall. I did make one mistake way down here in the beginning, but you know, it's my first time carrying up the yarn on anything striped without breaking it or, you know, whatnot. I really like that technique. I'm excited to finish it. It is really easy. I do have all my increases marked so I could keep track, because, you know, sometimes you forget. And I remember putting my garment down really frequently in the middle of the row, and it ended up being in the same spot each and every single time. Do you see how it's kind of funky there? I'm hoping it'll block out. It is on the back. It is an undergarment. I'm really not too worried about it, but you know, you look at it and you see it right away. You see your mistakes, but will other people see your mistakes? Or will they see that you spent time doing something you love? So, what else can I say? My daughter is planning to go to homecoming, which is later this month, and she got a really cute dress. And while we were dress shopping at JCPenney, there was another lady trying on all these really beautiful gowns. And I was standing out in the, you know, the clothes area just waiting, and my daughter was trying on all these dresses, and she would come out and she would say to her I don't know, partner, what do you think about this one? And he would say blah 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 blah. And one time she came out, and I went like this. And she looked at me like, do I look bad? And I was like, oh my god, you look so pretty. And then she smiled, and then she tried on some others, and then she decided she decided on her dress, and he goes, "Oh, you're gonna go with that one?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I looked at her and I was like, "That's a good choice." It was so pretty on her. And then I sat there and I thought to myself, huh, we all have these abilities and superpowers or ways of making life better for others. Some people don't want to do that. Some people just want to commiserate and be angry all the time. Not naming names, but if you know my life, then you know who I'm talking about. And then I thought to myself, I think my superpower is making other people see their beauty or make them feel good about their choices. Like when you're just walking and you look at somebody and you just smile at them, and then they smile, and then they it kind of like the ripple effect. And if you come from a background where you get made fun of and you can overcome that and make other people still see how pretty they are. Like when I saw my daughter's dress on her, I was like, oh, you look striking. Now, as a young child, well, she's not a young child, as a young person, she didn't know what striking meant, and so I had to explain it to her, but she looked striking. Oh, she's going to be so cute. She's so excited to go to her first big school dance. And let's see. I don't know what else is there to do. It's a cloudy day. I love cloudy days. I'm just going to go. I'm talking about the weather. So if you don't want to hear me talk about the weather, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And thank you for commenting on my videos. I truly appreciate it. Now, on to the weather. Wisconsin is full of really cloudy, gray days. I live in northwestern Wisconsin, which tends to have more cloudy, gray days than any other kind of day. Even in a hot summer, you can have a really gray, cloudy day. I'm looking out and there's like all these different colors in the sky, but it's all gray based. I love it. It is so beautiful. You don't have to worry about sunscreen as much. You don't have to squint so hard when the sun is hitting your eyes. I know a lot of people are affected by SAD, the seasonal affective disorder, and they don't like gray days nonstop. But if you're from the land of the north, from Europe, which my relatives or ancestors are, I have a lot of Norwegian and the British Isles, okay? I do have some other stuff like Italian. I'm part Italian. But those areas are very cloudy and gray. It's just the way life is. And to see it as like, a bummer or full of anger is really missing how you can look at something and just be, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. When I walk outside and I see that it's cloudy and gray, I smile. I think that's what I meant by the superpower. Even in the darkest of times, I still see the light of whatever is being shown. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. What do I know? Yeah, hopefully something. Now, I have been getting a lot, I'm going to reach. I have been wearing this cardigan to work all the time since I finished it. It is really nice. It is not an outerwear cardigan. Like I couldn't just wear this out on the playground on a day like today because of the lace panel. The wind just goes right through it. But when I had my other sweatshirt over this, I was just perfect. It was not too cold, not too hot. I was, what do you call it? Goldilocks. Now, I need to wash it in the washing machine and I'm going to stick it in the dryer for just a little bit. I think I made this technically too big. I could have probably I don't know if it's the yarn growing or what, but I mean, it's not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad. It's this deep neckline that just kind of But I just wear it open like that, and then, you know, it just kind of curls under, and I just walk around work like this. I do notice sometimes it falls off my shoulder, so maybe a little bit of time in the dryer, it will, you know, gain some of its structure back. This is a cotton poly yarn. It was Joann's Big Twist. Cotton? No. Poly Twist? I don't know. It was, I think it was their Big Twist line. It is a natural striping yarn. I really like it though. I mean, it has worked quite well for my needs. Now, I will be talking next week again about other things. I don't know what at this moment, but I want to do a little deep dive in some of my grandma's stuff, which I have said I would do, but I just haven't. I don't know if I'll be able to do it in September with all the visiting and obligations we have. I have been picking up ticket sales. I am working as what do you call it, for the football games, and then tomorrow I'm working the volleyball game for selling tickets. It's actually a lot of fun, and I get to talk with people and do stuff, and yeah, so, but it just takes up time, and I get home late, and then there's nothing done around the house, and then I'm exhausted. But it's helping the paychecks and whatnot. I did I did realize that I can't tell age after a certain age. There was this big guy, and I said, "Are you a student or an adult?" He goes, "What do you think?" And I said to him, "That's what I'm asking. Are you a student or adult? Because I don't know." I would, if he came in, I was a bartender for many years. If he came into my bar, I would automatically card him and say, you know, "Can I see your ID?" But this is a football game, and I just want to know if you're an adult or a student. He said he was an adult. He looked really young. Really young. But, you know, that comes with age. So, anyway, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for participating. My cats this is like old news for them. And my daughter's at school, so I'm a little bit more rambly. And I should probably let you go because this is going on 43 minutes, and that's a good time. So, I hope to be done with more items or working on more things other than just the plain old cardigans. And I hope that you all are having a pleasant day. Take care. Have fun. Bye for now.